Welcome everybody to some more Black Ops 2. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Modern Warfare 2 Remastered again. I don't know how many videos I've made on Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, but we're talking about it again. And I would like to say that this is going to be the last video I'm going to make on the topic, but you guys know that's not true. You guys know I'm going to make so many more videos on it. And even though I'm talking about this topic so much, I'm not milking it nearly as much as Activision are milking this franchise, so I have no guilt whatsoever. But anyway, the last time we touched on Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, we talked about the fact that the campaign released for the game without the multiplayer. I was very frustrated in that video because a lot of sources were saying that Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer is not going to be coming out, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, that multiplayer is my favorite Call of Duty multiplayer ever, so it was kind of heartbreaking to hear that they weren't working on it and that it's not going to be coming out. But as most things go with leakers, it turns out that things have actually changed, and Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer is actually being developed according to some sources, and that it is going to be coming out either this year or next year. And at this point, I'm kind of just like defeated. It's been beaten out of me so much. I've talked about Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer so many times that the topic has just been like squeezed out of me at this point, and I'm kind of hoping that it comes out. But at the same time, with this video, you guys clicked on it for the title, I'm kind of going to play devil's advocate. While yes, we're all looking forward to a Modern Warfare 2 Remastered multiplayer, as I said, I'm going to be playing devil's advocate because I personally believe that even if it comes out, it's not going to be good. And it kind of saddens me to say that, but I can't help but feel like what I'm about to say is true, and it is going to happen. So without further ado, let's just get into this. Let me get into why I think that Modern Warfare 2 Remastered multiplayer is not going to be good, even if it launches tomorrow. First of all, let's talk about Modern Warfare 2 by itself. The game was in a horrible state. The game was completely broken. It had so many glitches, exploits. One-man army noob tubes was probably the biggest thing that really killed the game for a lot of people. Now, personally, I didn't really mind that because I'll take the game with its flaws. I love the game so much. However, we can't sit here and lie to ourselves. In 2019, it's very possible that most people would not enjoy the game in its natural state, in its broken state. Personally, I wouldn't mind if they left the game broken as it is because that's how I love the game. I personally would not enjoy a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer that was patched and fixed and ridden of all of its exploits. I just wouldn't be able to look at the game in the same way. However, most likely the casual community, which do make up the majority of the Call of Duty player base, would want the game fixed. I personally wouldn't enjoy that, and a lot of the hardcore community would not enjoy Modern Warfare 2 to be fixed. And a lot of the hardcore Call of Duty community who have played Modern Warfare 2 probably wouldn't want the game fixed, and that includes me, as I said. So we're kind of stuck in this tough predicament where you either leave the game as it is, and a lot of the community are going to be unhappy with that because the game is a broken mess, let's not lie to ourselves, or you fix the game and you basically shit on the entire veteran community who loves the game the way it is, who doesn't want it changed, and that would include me. Personally, I would prefer if the game was left untouched in its natural state. I wouldn't want anything fixed because if you start fixing one-man army noob tubes, people will say, okay, well, let's start nerfing the snipers because the snipers are very, very powerful in Modern Warfare 2. And that would pretty much kill the game for so many people because sniping in Modern Warfare 2 is so iconic. You cannot touch the intervention. If you touch the intervention and nerf it in any way, the community will be in a bigger uproar about that than they were with the DSR in Black Ops 2. Do you know how many people you would piss off if you changed sniping? And you might say to yourself, well, don't touch snipers. Well, the problem with that is that you can't really pick and choose what we start nerfing. If you start nerfing one-man army noob tubes, people are going to inevitably ask, hey, let's change this, let's change that, let's nerf this, let's nerf that, and eventually the game isn't going to be the same. It's going to be a completely different game, which is why I say that we should probably leave the game the way it is, because if we start changing things up, it's not going to be the same game. That's the best case scenario in my opinion. So you guys might be thinking, well, if that happens, wouldn't the game be really enjoyable? Wouldn't you enjoy the game if it was left in its natural state? But here's the thing, even if we don't change anything about the gameplay itself, it's probably still not going to be in its natural state, and it's because of a topic that I touched on in my last video, and that is skill-based matchmaking. There is a reason why skill-based matchmaking continues to stay in Call of Duty, and I'm not going to reiterate what I said in my last video about skill-based matchmaking. Instead, I'm going to link it in the description for you guys. If you guys want to see what I have to say about skill-based matchmaking and why I believe it keeps coming back into Call of Duties, go check that video out. But without a doubt, in my mind, skill-based matchmaking would be in Modern Warfare 2 Remastered because it comes down to money. Activision profit from skill-based matchmaking being in the game. If you're confused as to why that's the case, as I said, go watch my video. It's in the description, very top of it, first link. Without a doubt, in my mind, they would implement skill-based matchmaking into Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. And I've said this before, that skill-based matchmaking is a deal breaker for me in Call of Duties. Maybe you feel differently. Maybe it's not a deal breaker for you, but for me personally, it is. If they implemented skill-based matchmaking into Modern Warfare 2 Remastered's multiplayer, it would take away a huge chunk of what makes that game fun, which is the kill streaks. If you have thick skill-based matchmaking in the game, nobody's going to be able to earn kill streaks. And if nobody can earn kill streaks in Modern Warfare 2 Remastered multiplayer, then that essentially takes away like half of the enjoyability of that game. Oh my god, I don't know what I just did, but I really wish that wasn't split. Kill streaks make up a huge portion of Modern Warfare 2, so if you add skill-based matchmaking, it's going to make it so that nobody can get a nuke. I mean, ask yourself this. In Modern Warfare 2019, how many people do you see get a nuke every single game? It's so fucking rare. Why? Because skill-based matchmaking is in the game. Imagine Modern Warfare 2 without any nukes. Imagine Modern Warfare 2 without Pavlos, without AC-130s, without chopper gunners. It's a completely different game, and it would suck. It would not be enjoyable by any stretch of the imagination. This is what I personally believe is going to happen with Modern Warfare 2 Remastered multiplayer. They're going to implement skill-based matchmaking, and even if they leave the game the way it is in terms of gameplay mechanics, it's still not going to change the fact that it's going to be indirectly affected because of skill-based matchmaking. Won't be able to earn kill streaks. And you could try and exploit skill-based matchmaking so that you get into easier lobbies so that you can enjoy the game the way it was, but are you really playing Modern Warfare 2 like that? I mean, you guys know me. I encourage you to exploit skill-based matchmaking in every way, shape, or form if that means you're going to enjoy the game, but that's not how we played the game in 2009 when it launched. You're going to be playing the game differently than you did in 2009, and I personally don't want that. If I'm going to play Modern Warfare 2, I want to play it the same way I did when I played it. Now, of course, in 2009, I was 9 years old, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I played the game during its prime, but I definitely played the game afterwards, and I still do on PC, and I can enjoy the game to its full extent. But the reason I can enjoy Modern Warfare 2 on PC through IW4X is because Activision don't have their hands on it. If you took IW4X and you implemented skill-based matchmaking into it, it would completely ruin it. And that's exactly what Activision are going to do if they release the multiplayer tomorrow. And that's not even talking about supply drops and monetization, the way they would change the game in that aspect. Yes, Activision left supply drops in the past in Modern Warfare 2019, but with Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, they would have a huge opportunity in front of them to make billions among billions of dollars in microtransactions through selling supply drops. I feel like they would go back on their word and they would reintroduce supply drops just for Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, because leaving that much money on the table for Activision simply would not make sense. I'm sorry if I'm kind of coming off as a party pooper in this video, but I truly believe that Modern Warfare 2 Remastered multiplayer, if it were to release, would not be the same. It would not be as enjoyable as the original game, and I personally don't think I would like it. I'm honestly questioning whether or not I would even pick it up, because as much as I want to hope that the game would be good, I can't say that I have high hopes. If they decided to release the game in its natural state, and by that I mean without skill-based matchmaking, the way it originally was, then yes, I feel Modern Warfare 2 Remastered could be a fantastic experience. But that's most likely not going to be the case, and it's the reason why I'm really not looking forward to it. To me, it wouldn't be Modern Warfare 2, it would be a weird Frankenstein of the game. But hey, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear what your guys' take on this is. And with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you smack the like button. If you want to stay up to date with my content, please be sure to subscribe. I'll have my last video in the corner. If you haven't checked that out already, definitely make sure to check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.